We're with David Smith right now. How did your mammoth bike ride go?
It was very good, thank you. I was very lucky. I didn't have any mechanical issues or sore nether regions, and yeah, each day was tough, but we got there. It was probably about 90 miles a day, some days harder than others, but yeah, I was very lucky to get through. A couple of other people on the trip didn't make it for differing reasons, so I count myself fortunate that I didn't have any, like I say, issues with the bike or with my body, and yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. And you know, thank you to everybody for supporting me, and you know, we're hoping that we've raised you know, just over £10,000 for the youth setup, which is fantastic. And like I say, I can't thank everybody enough for all their support.
Was it tougher than you expected?
Some bits of it were. The first 2 days, especially Cornwall and Devon, were very hilly, and then there was a few days where it was wet. So we got really wet and cold, I think, between Preston and Carlisle one day. Shrewsbury and Preston. That was really cold and wet. That was horrible. I think we were playing Notts County away on that day, and I remember getting to the place we were staying that night and looking at the results coming through, but being absolutely soaking wet. So that's not nice when you're doing sort of 90+ miles when you're freezing cold and wet, despite having, you know, as much sort of clothing on as possible. So there were some wet days, but yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And once you sort of get into it, after the first, I'd say 4 or 5 days, your legs sort of got used to it a little bit. So it was tough, but enjoyable.
On those wet and cold days, did you sometimes think, what am I doing here?
Not really. I suppose in a way it became almost a bit like pre-season training. So you have to do it. You know you've got to do the miles, so you just sort of put your head down and pedal away. Like I say, everything was organised, so really all you had to concentrate on doing was the cycling. So yeah, they were tough, and it was cold some days, but you know, I'm still here, and you know, the money raised was for a fantastic cause for our youth setup.
And what was it like pedalling over that finish line?
The day that we rode into John O'Groats in Scotland was a lovely day, but very windy. So you know, getting there, it was a bit like, right, we've done it now. It was a bit of a sort of relief in a way, and yeah, you know, a nice sort of sense of achievement. It wasn't maybe till maybe a few days afterwards that you look back of how far you'd come, and realise that it's a long way. We had to drive back from Inverness back to Grimsby, and you realise then, you know, that actually it's quite a long way up this. And yeah, I think the achievement of what you've done maybe sort of came in a few days after, rather than the initial euphoria of crossing the line.
Was you glad that you did it? Yeah,
it's something that I set out to do. I was pleased that, like I say, I didn't have any issues throughout the whole ride, and in doing so, did my little bit to help out our youth setup.
How come some people did drop out then?
A couple of accidents, you know, going down some of the hills in Devon. One guy fell off, another guy had a suspected minor sort of heart attack, I think. So varying reasons, and you know, it's a tough challenge. And like I say, I was lucky. I had a couple of close shaves with an odd bus and going down a few hills where I thought, I wonder if I'm going to get around this corner. But yeah, you know, like I say, I enjoyed it, and touch wood, I didn't have too many issues.
Bet you saw some beautiful scenery along the way.
Yeah, I mean, some of the places we saw in Scotland, it's not a country that I've sort of visited a lot, but some of the scenery up in Scotland was fantastic. And you know, every part of the ride, every bit of the country has some lovely places. You know, like Cornwall and Devon were beautiful. Bits of the Wye Valley, you know, went up through Cheddar Gorge, things like that. You know, places that I've not really seen before, and you know, Scotland was really nice. We didn't have the best of weather, unfortunately, when we were up there. So that would have been, I think, on a sort of a sunny day, some of those views out over the lochs would have been superb.
What was the highlight of the ride for you?
Finishing. that's always your worry. You know, we first set off from Land's End, and everybody took it really, really steady. So we were like, and then it was too steady. It was like one guy almost stopped on a hill, and everybody nearly crashed into him. So at that point, you think, right, you've got to ride at your own pace. So once you sort of settle into your own pace and find somebody to ride with, it was just a case of getting the miles done. But like I say, once we'd sort of got 2/3 of the way in, it was then a case of, right, you've got to make sure you finish now, and that. But yeah, finishing the, sort of getting to John O'Groats was like, yeah, I've done it now.
Did your competitive side kick in as well?
Oh, not at all, Dale. I don't know what we're on about. Couldn't possibly comment. We're on camera. You need to ask a guy called Ben Thompson, I spent most of the ride with, and we had a few fast days, let's just say. But we enjoyed it.
And how much money have you raised?
Like I say, we're hoping that we've raised £10,000 for our youth setup. So, once again, a massive thank you to all the supporters and everybody that's sponsored me, and let's hope that we can keep producing some youngsters to go through our system.
There was some big donations in there as well.
There was, yeah, and I'm eternally grateful to everybody who's done that. And I had to finish. For people who's sort of donated a lot of money, I was determined that you had to finish. So, like I say, got through it, and pleased it all went well.
And fans have got another chance to support the youth system on Sunday night. Yeah,
we're doing our annual Christmas draw, so I would encourage any supporters who've still got tickets and to send them back in, or bring them back in at tomorrow's game. And once again, it's all going to a good cause, and like I said before, I've been through a youth system, and without that I would never have, like I say, fulfilled my dream of being a footballer. And this is my turn to put a little bit back.
There's some fantastic prizes up for grabs.
Yeah, I think there's a 50-inch telly, there's a bike, there's a I think it's an Xbox, and so yeah, some great prizes, and a lot of the parents from the PPAG have chipped in and brought in some other prizes. So if you can get in on Sunday night in McMenemy's, then we'll be doing the draw up there.